Hello everyone. Now today I'm going to show you very quickly to do a short takeoff and short landing. And for the purposes of this video, I'm going to do it quickly, as brief and efficiently as possible. But to give you a quick rundown, just mute this because it's usually always too loud. Let's just say you're going out for a long mission. You've got your fuel tanks and your GBU-12s with a couple of AIM-9 sidewinders just in case, and underneath you've got a gun pod and targeting pod, 4 said GBUs. It's a long flight, carrying a lot. With this loadout, which is, I would say, arguably rare, you would carry something like this. Not, I wouldn't say never, but just rare. You're actually overweight, okay? So you need a lot of runway, which is what I have here in front of me. But to get to the point, I want to show you how you now do a short takeoff. So, any displays, your main option here at the top is the VRAS page and then the STO page. Now, a couple of key things. You can't change any of this information in here. Raspberry have not implemented that yet as of this video. However, you can still use it. So you've got your wet and your dry weight, which is obviously for your water, which I'll show you in a second. Relevant information. And then of course you start off with your nozzle rotation airspeed, which is the top one. So again, when you're using the water, you require less speed. The nozzles though, stay at 60% rotation. That's what the NOZ is. And then the bit that I mentioned before about being overweight is the GWT here. As you can see, that's at 32,000 pounds. That's dropping because obviously we're burning fuel, even just sat here idle. So some of this information, if not all of it, will change as you're flying, as you're using fuel, dumping your weapons, dropping the empty fuel tanks, firing off the sidewinders, the gun pods, so on and so forth. But you can't change any information that you need to be able to change to help you do a more efficient, let's say, short takeoff. So you start with the basics here at the moment. So what I'm going to do now is show you how I take off to maximize the chances. So I've already got the flaps set here down into Stovall, or V-stall I should say, sorry. And then, oh, it's stall, do apologise, it's in stall, right. Make sure obviously your master mode switch is on the V-stall setting. So you've got this HUD. Things you obviously have here digitally, you have the same either in this panel here or anywhere else in the aircraft. So flaps down here, nozzle of your, sorry, the degrees of your nozzles. So mine is still set to straight back. Got your temperature there, which is under the J. Your RPM there. Got your feet per minute, which is also crucial. Obviously, you've got your altitude, your speed, compass, vertical velocity heading, aircraft, sorry, witch's hat for your aircraft, where your aircraft is pointing. That's obviously then technically where you're going. That down here is for the rudder control, so it will go opposite to whatever input your rudder is. Gives you an idea of how much you're trying to turn relative to where you're actually going through inertia. That's also important when you're coming in for a landing, whether it's short landing, conventional, or vertical. So, the other thing I want to bring your attention to is the levers. That controls your nozzles, that one stops them. So, it's advisory that if you can do, map these to your HOTAS, especially if you've got any kind of dial or slider. That's where you'll get more accuracy. So for example, with my HOTAS I have the Warthog. I only have the nozzle one at the moment because it's the only one slider that's on there. But it works because I'm used to just moving the stop lever, or as I do it on the fly, just look at the nozzles on the HUD and change it wherever necessary. So what you're looking for though today is to make sure that you can get it to about 60. Even if it's 61 or 59, it's not really going to matter, providing you're within a couple of degrees of the target. That's all that matters. So, before you take off, check to make sure your water's in the off position, and then you flick it up for takeoff. You can hear the engine sort of spool up a little bit. And what I do is I apply the brakes, double check, so wet means we have to be at 122, then you throw the nozzles all the way back. So brakes on, throttle up. When she wants to start going, let go of the brakes, let it go. If need be, practice gradual throttling instead if you like. I'm going to wait for roughly the 122, and I'm just going to throw the nozzles all the way back, keep your hand on the stick, and here we go. That is a short takeoff. Very slow, very controlled. Now, what you want to do is afterwards, keep your hand on the stick as much as possible, keep it level, should be okay itself. Bring your gear up first, that will reduce most drag. Then, you want to very gradually, because you're not moving very fast at this point, you want to gradually start moving the nozzles forward, because you need to start getting that speed up without dropping your altitude too much. Again, keep an eye on all the information that's in front of you. Your feet per minute on the right hand side, you see it dropping. Moving the nozzles forward, vertical velocity indicators dropping. Just watch it. Bearing in mind, the quicker you do this, the better, because you'll be using more water. I've almost used it already, even though I know you probably can't see that. Throttle back if you need to. The nozzle's there. Okay. Even if you let it drop, the aircraft flaps up to auto, it will drop more. You can trim. So I'll give you an idea now. That's me trimming. Bring it up. Trim as you go along. It's just all about the practice. Don't forget to bring your water back down. And there you go. That is your short takeoff. And now I'll show you a short landing. Right, so let's assume you've done the mission, you've completed it, you've had to drop your fuel tanks. Usually you don't. Let's just say you do. You've dropped your weapons. It's been successful. You've still got your missiles and your gun at full ammo and your pod. And now you're coming into land. You've refueled on the way back as well, so you've still got plenty of fuel down there. So now here comes the landing. You could do this conventionally, but again, she was more built to do it this way. So you want to bring your speed down. You want to drop your gear. It's the first thing I would do. Trim out if you need to. I'm coming in a little bit too high here for this demonstration actually. Okay. So your flaps are down as well now. And start bringing your nozzles back to that 60% roughly. Give it a little bit of power. You want to try and glide yourself in as much as possible without using the engine, just use inertia. Until obviously those flaps kick in like that. But the more you start losing speed, the quicker you're going to have to start bringing that nose up gently and more power. I'm coming down way too fast at the moment. There we go. It's a little slice, we'll bring the nozzles forward. Too much to say. Probably should have left it. Never mind. Right, so here we go. Start leveling her out. Throttle gradually up. Again, watch all that information in front of you. touchdown. Apply the brakes. Ooh. Well, that was a little bit wonky.